We are now 20 hours into the government shutdown, and there is no end in sight. Hundreds of thousands of government workers are reporting to their jobs without pay, and tonight Democrats and Republicans continue blaming the other side. Good evening, and thanks for being here. I'm Molly Shen.
And I'm Preston Phillips. Democrats once again today voted down a Republican bill to temporarily fund the government. Democrats are holding firm, demanding Republicans reverse their cuts to Medicaid and extend expiring Obamacare subsidies to prevent insurance premiums from rising for some 20 million Americans. President Trump and many Republicans, though, are claiming Democrats are pushing for health care for people who are in the country illegally.
They prioritize taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal aliens over keeping the government open for American citizens.
Donald Trump and Republicans have barreled us into a shutdown because they refuse to protect Americans' health care.
Senators will return Friday after a break for the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. We now know our state has 80,000 federal employees impacted by the federal government shutdown.
And according to the State Employment Security Department, the majority of those employees are off the job on temporary leave and without a paycheck. Today, the state said it stands ready to help those workers.
KOMO's Michelle Esteban live this evening outside one of the state's career resource offices with the very latest for us. Michelle?
Well, think about this, Preston and Molly. Those federal workers with their income, they support businesses, restaurants, grocery stores. No paycheck means less money coming into the local economy. We could go from the few to the thousands needing assistance from our state. It's quiet for now at the Auburn WorkSource, one of 40 statewide one-stop career centers, but that could soon change.
We have in our state just shy of 80,000 employees, federal employees.
And that doesn't count the federal contractors also sidelined.
We want to do everything we can to assist federal employees in our state and help them receive unemployment benefits if needed.
Governor Ferguson sharing that message on social media.
It's a super stressful time with all the unknown.
Commissioner Cami Feek at Washington's Employment Security Department says furloughed workers and federal contractors are encouraged to apply for unemployment benefits as a safeguard. But essential federal employees working during the shutdown by law are not eligible. Feek says those benefits have an impact on the state's broader economy.
Any large layoff in our state has impact to or furlough to the funds that people have to be able to spend in their local economies.
Food banks are anticipating an impact. A spokesperson for DSHS told me applications could increase at their Washington Connection sites, where those who qualify can apply for services from food to cash assistance. And the state anticipates more visits at their WorkSource sites. Such offices are trained to help with resume writing, interviewing, and learning what jobs might be available.
When you haven't had to use these programs, you might wonder about whether they're for you. And I would say they are for everybody, and they're a really important lifeline.
I want to put the 80,000 federal workers into perspective via dollars and cents. The state tells me just in the first quarter of the year, their total wages added up to $2 billion. Mind you, that's just for the first quarter. So the big question here really comes down to how long will the shutdown go on? And that could really impact things. The one thing we can look back at is history here. We know there was one in our state back in 2018, 2019, in fact, across the country. That one lasted 35 days. That's the latest. I'm Michelle Esteban, KOMO News.
So what will be impacted by the partial government shutdown? The Social Security Administration says payments will still be made. Nutritional programs like SNAP benefits, food stamps will continue until funding runs out. Air traffic controllers and TSA agents are deemed essential employees, so they'll continue to work but without pay. Veterans will still receive medical and critical care through the VA. The FDA will respond to emergencies, but inspections will be limited, and national parks will stay partially open despite having more than half of its workers furloughed.
Washington Congresswoman Emily Randall is weighing in on the shutdown from D.C., where she says she is on standby, waiting for Friday's vote in the Senate. Representative Randall tells us her district is home to some 27,000 federal workers, all of whom will be affected in some way by the shutdown.
I remember what that was like when I was a kid and my dad was furloughed in the 95-96 shutdown. And This is going to impact families being able to afford rent and food and childcare, all the things that keep their budgets tight.
Randall says she's hopeful the shutdown ends quickly, but she says for that to happen, Senate Republicans must come to the negotiating table. That brings us to our KOMO Pulse poll. Scan the QR code on screen to participate. Tonight, we're asking, how concerned are you about the impact of the government shutdown on your daily life? And here's a live look at the results. Tonight, most people, 64% say not worried, 19% say somewhat worried, and 17% have weighed in with very worried. Again, if you'd like to vote, scan the code that's on your screen. It'll take you directly to the story on KOMOnews.com.